You are listening to Grim and Stone, the Mountain Perspective.
Welcome to Grim and Stone, the Mountain Perspective. This is our take on what's happening in the world. How you doing, Stony?
Ugh.
Happy 4th of July.
Well, it is the 4th, yes.
Well, because you're...
Yes, happy Independence Day to the United States.
Alrighty. And speaking of which, let's see here. Independence Day, or the 4th of July, celebrates the adoption of the Continental Congress of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. And here's a couple things you may not have known about the Declaration of Independence. It wasn't signed on July 4th. No. On July 1st, the Second Continental Congress met in Philadelphia, and the following day, on the following day, 12 of the 13 colonies voted in favor, I guess to ratify the Declaration, and then spent the next 2 days debating and revising language and blah blah blah. And on the 4th, the Congress officially adopted the Declaration of Independence. And as a result, that is the day that has become Independence Day. Nearly a month would go by before the actual signing of the document took place. So, and more than one copy exists. That's kind of cool.
Are they identical?
That I do not know. Let's see. After the adoption of the Independence, Committee of Five, that'd be Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Ben Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston. They were charged with overseeing the reproduction of the approved text. So I'm guessing that they are identical. This was completed at the shop of the Philadelphia printer John Dunlap. On July 5th, Dunlap's copies were dispatched across the 13 colonies. Local officials, blah, blah, blah. These rare documents known as the Dunlap broadsides. Let's see, predate the engrossed version signed by the delegates. Oh, so these were actually before that one. All right, very good. Of the hundreds thought to have been printed on the night of July 4th, only 26 copies have survived. Most are in museums and 3 are privately owned. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
When the news of the Declaration of Independence hit New York City, it started a riot. Gee, surprise! Nothing new there. By July 9th, a copy of the Declaration hit New York City, with hundreds of British naval ships occupying the New York harbor. Revolutionary spirit and military tensions were running high. George Washington, commander of the Continental Forces in New York, read the document out loud in front of City Hall. A raucous crowd cheered the inspiring words, and later that day tore down nearby statue of King George III. The statue was subsequently melted down and shaped into more than 42,000 musket balls for the fledgling American Army.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, well, yeah, that works. Let's see. What other neat little things? 8 of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence were born in Britain. That's kind of neat. Not going to go over all those. Oh, we had one signer recant. Richard Stockton, a lawyer from Princeton, New Jersey. Oh, well, gee, none of that is surprising. Became the only signer of the Declaration of Independence to recant his support of the Revolution. On November 30th, 1776, the hapless delegate was captured by the British and thrown in jail. After months of harsh treatment and meager rations, Stockton repudiated his signature on the Declaration of Independence and swore his allegiance to King George. A broken man, when he regained his freedom, he took a new oath of loyalty to the state of New Jersey in 1777. All right. Well, if your last name's Stockton, you may want to consider changing it. Let's see. There was a 44-year age difference between the youngest and oldest signers. Oldest signer was Ben Franklin at 70 years of age. And the youngest was Edward Rutledge, a lawyer from South Carolina, who was only 26. And Rutledge narrowly beat out fellow South Carolinian Tom Lynch Jr., just 4 months his senior for that title. 2 additional copies have been found in the last 25 years. Oh, this is kind of neat. I remember I read this. It was kind of cool. Dude picks up a painting at a flea market. Let's see. Yeah, for $4. And he finds one of the Dunlap broadsides in the back of it, which consequently sold for $8.1 million in 2,000. That's a hell of a lottery ticket. $4 for 8.1 million.
Yeah.
During World War II, the Declaration of Independence was locked up in Fort Knox. Let's see here. And number 9. There is something written on the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
All right. In the movie National Treasure, Nicolas Cage character claims that on the back of the Declaration contains a treasure map with encrypted instructions from the Founding Fathers written in invisible ink. Unfortunately, this is not the case.
What? No Illuminati treasure?
No. There is, however, a simple message written upside down on the bottom of the signed document. And this is what it says. Original Declaration of Independence dated 4th July 1776. No one knows who exactly wrote this or when, but during the Revolutionary War years, the parchment was frequently rolled up for transport, and it is thought the text had been added as a label. So there's your secret message on the back of the Declaration of Independence. So let's see here. What happened with this?
It was taken away.
No, it wasn't. Better not have been. Because this is just some other neat little quick trivia on July 4th. Let's see. Most historic, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there we go. In a remarkable coincidence, both John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, the only signers of the Declaration of Independence to later serve as presidents of the United States, died on the same day, July 4th, 1826, which was the 50th anniversary of the Declaration. Although not a signer of the Declaration of Independence, but another founding father who became president, James Monroe, he also died on July 4th, but in 1831, thus becoming the third president in a row to die on this Memorial Day. Calvin Coolidge, the 30th president, was born on July 4th, 1872, and so far is the only president to have been born on Independence Day.
Huh. George Washington didn't sign the Declaration?
I don't believe so. Let's see. Starting back with the Revolutionary War to today, we are looking at roughly a grand total of 2,717,991 wounded or dead in defense of this country.
That's sobering.
Well, still, less have died in the defense of this country than Hitler killed, or Stalin, or Pol Pot, or...
That's because only 1 to 3% of anybody in this country has the nuts to stand up and defend it.
So... But, yeah, Revolutionary War only lost, let's see, wounded and dead, 50,000. And these are rough numbers, because there's no way they could have solid numbers. Civil War, that number ain't right. We're looking at, what is that? That's close to 1 million right there.
Yeah?
Wounded and dead. World War I was only 320,000. World War II, just over 1 million. Korean War, 128,000. Vietnam War, just over 200,000. And with our current festivities, the War on Terror, almost 60,000. So, there you go. A little history, a little trivia, and a little sobering fact there at the end. And let's see here. Ranked deaths in combat. What do we got here? Now remember, those numbers I gave were wounded and dead.
Mm-hmm.
So not just dead. So far, from 2001 to present, we've lost just over 5,000 people in the War of Terror. So there you go. And that's about all I got. Figured we'd just do that instead of a famous vet. We're just figure honor everybody who's sacrificed for the United States. Your turn.
Well, it's a July 4th story, so I thought I'd use it because it's appropriate.
All right.
The house featured in Grumpy Old Men is for sale in St. Paul, Minnesota. The house where Jack Lemmon's character, which would probably be you,
Probably.
is for sale in St. Paul. 1914 bungalow on St. Paul's Lake Phelan was featured in a 93 movie starring Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. Casey and Jared Nowicki have owned it since 2008, but their family has outgrown it and they're looking to sell. The house has been known to attract people just because of its connection to the movie. It's a little weird, but you get used to it, Casey Nowicki said. One time last fall, some college-age boys came out and they had props with them, fishing poles and stuff, for the pictures that they took. Anyway, the 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,460 square foot home with a lake view and brush with fame was listed for $195,000.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
There's a nice house.
Yes. Grumpy old man. That's all I got.
All right, fair enough. I figured for today's weather, we would go to the geographic center of the United States. Now, if you got to include Alaska and Hawaii, and I'm sitting here waving my hands around, like showing on the map where they are. The geographic center of the United States falls in Belle Fourche, South Dakota. Yep. Actually about 21 miles north of Belle Fourche, South Dakota. I looked all this shit up. So, today right now it is 75 degrees. Feels like 75. It is fair. Let's see. Winds out of the south-southwest at 10 miles an hour with a humidity of 69%. Later today, they're looking at a high of 89 degrees. Isolated thunderstorms, chance of rain 30%. Winds out of the north at 11 miles an hour with a humidity of 40%. And tonight with a low of 64 degrees. Chance of rain 20%. Winds out of the east-southeast at 7 miles an hour with a humidity of 61%. So, there you go. I think that about does it for us. So, have a good weekend. Don't blow your friggin' fingers off. Remember, your PTSD vets are not going to be fond of fireworks. So, think of them before setting off the fake mortar rounds near them.
Yep. Keep your powder dry.